All right, everybody, welcome back to Culz Interviews. It's been a little break that we've had since our last one, but we've been waiting until we got back from Roswell to really start setting these up again. And we actually been working on this one for a little bit now. We've actually both talked to our guest as well as he hung out with us. He'll be in an upcoming episode at Pepper's Restaurant, actually, here in the next couple weeks, so stay tuned for that. But we actually found him in a kind of fun way because we did our interview with Thomas Fears, who we had found because he played Brushy Bill Roberts in the final trial of Billy the Kid, which obviously we've talked to Michael Anthony Giudice as well. And we were going through his filmography, saw there was a Ghostbusters one, turned it on, and immediately saw locations that we recognized or we had been to. And they saw a review and reached out. So I will turn it over to our guest today.
Hello. I'll let him go first. He's the Ghostbuster guy.
I'm always Anyways, I'm Aaron Mutter. I go by the character name Johnny Jenks in the film. I'm the one that kind of yells at everybody in that one. And Mike here is the real reason that movie still exists.
My name is Michael Head. I am a filmmaker, editor, director, a little bit of everything here in El Paso, Texas. And we got connected with this guy. That's a whole long story, but long story short,
too late.
They had this movie. Yeah, they had this movie called Open for Business that they needed finished, and we sat down and finished it.
He just glossed over so many problems.
Yes, I did. I told you. That's a long story short. So,
well,
he's also a college professor. Don't let him sell himself short.
Well, so how did you get into Ghostbusters? Like, how did that start?
They know how I
tell them about the warehouse.
Oh. I did not tell them about the warehouse for this exact reason.
I'm not going to name any names. I've been filmmaking for probably starting in about 2010. I lived in Dallas. My wife and I lived in Dallas for a long time. We moved here in 2016, I believe it was. Yeah. And I was doing some filmmaking here with some people, and I was connected. Somebody asked me, "Hey, will you come in and DP, director of photography, this Ghostbuster short film?" And I'm not going to name names, but I was like, "This is supposed to be Ghostbusters?" And he and I started talking. He was on set. He was in the set. We have some stories. I can tell stories without naming names.
I can mention a little bit. I had gone to this film group that reached out to me that saw us at like an event. And by us, it was just me and my daughter were there. They're like, "Oh, the car's cool." I was like, "Well, I'm trying to do a movie." And then they kind of went lit, and they're like, "Would you like to do a movie with us?" Absolutely. So I sat down, wrote a script, turned it in. Didn't hear anything from them for a while, and they're like, "Oh, we're setting up, ready to do auditions." I show up the day of the audition, started meeting certain people, had no idea who these people were, didn't know how any of this process was done. Then we roll into, "Hey, I've got the cast ready, and we're going to go doing this." I was like, "Great." "Oh, we're not using your script." I was like, "That's wrong. It's my script." And they sent me one that I don't even know why I had Ghostbusters in the name. It was terrible. So I rewrote it. I sent it back to her, the one that was the what would she be then? Would she be a director? Sent it to her. She did not like it. Rewrote it again. In which case, I then put my foot down, rewrote basically a piece of shit. You can put as much sugar on it as you want. It's still a piece of shit. Sent it to her. I said, "This is what we're doing in the story." It wasn't great, but it was something to start. And this was before our pilot episodes. This was way before. It was a place called the Glass Box that had various projects that were going on. And Mike, I met him the day we were filming with our small little cast, and it was a nightmare. But he was the only one that got what I was trying to do.
I started throwing out ideas, and he was like, "Oh, yeah, I already wrote that." And I'm like, "Why are we doing that?"
And then he saw my original script. He's like, "This isn't even at all filming it." Yeah, I know. Then he learned that the people had rewritten my stuff. They had an agenda. So they wanted a specific story that had absolutely nothing. They were basically just wanting me to show up with props and stuff and then walk the hell away. They didn't need me at all. So Mike, thank God, had the one Ghostbuster moment two moments in the whole damn thing where we're at the stairs.
That was fun.
And when everybody else is having things thrown at them and they take off running like crazy, and then me being me, I'm just like, just shuffled right along. because that's what the Ghostbusters do. They'd be like, this again. And he started laughing. And I was like, that guy gets it. And it went south in a bad way.
Long story short, though, that ended up going nowhere. But he and I stayed connected. We've been working on various projects since then, mostly Ghostbuster related, lots of like charity convention appearance stuff.
Open for Business had already been filmed a year before I met him. So it was just like a snowball. And all the important people I met at that one was Teddy, who was in that cast originally, and Mike. And so what was it? I got pneumonia, and then I put together a rough edit of Open for Business.
I just saw the rough edit. I don't know.
And he saw the rough edit, and he's like, "There's a good movie here. This is crap." I was like,
and he had all the original files, so it took a couple of months to just go through and organize all the files, and then go in and redo the edits.
Because none of the files were labeled. None of them were named. There was no scene corresponding, nothing.
It didn't destroy anything, so that was good. It just took a long time to organize.
Yeah, it was so nice.
But we crossed the finish line. Pretty good movie.
3 days before the premiere.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Deadlines are good for making sure you kill yourself before you get something done. That sounded really bad.
No.
Can we edit that?
Leave it in. Very true.
And we've been kind of doing everything like this since. So we're trying to do our own stuff down here. We have another feature that we're trying to put together. Probably doing a Kickstarter for that later on, because that's the plan.
Oh, yeah.
So we can get paid. Okay, good.
And Bixby's on board with it too.
So questions.
Well, Sam, do you wanna start?
Yeah. We kind of already know the answer to this, but I figured let the other people know. But in that fan film, who was the creators of the different ghosts? Like who made the different ghosts in that one?
Open for Business?
Yeah, I only did the one.
Yeah.
I did the old Smokey. That was my fault.
The
conception. They created the whole look and everything. I just made, hey, if you're doing a thing in Colorado, it has to be a project.
They did all the filming. They filmed all the ghosts. They were actually pretty smart about how they did it, because they filmed it all on green screen. Some of it was another visual effects guy that had done stuff. Well, he did good stuff. Like the ghost at the ghost at the hanging tree. That was not me at all. That was totally him. That was already done when I came in. We literally just dropped that in. But that also kind of inspired what I did in the final scene, because they filmed all that on a green screen, so I was able to put that in when I created a clean plate. I had to create a clean plate.
Where she's sitting on the altar, he took a freeze frame, because they never had anything that was static with the altar of her at all. So it's just a cut and paste. I don't know how he did it, but it was amazing. So that whole time that she's there, that's a static scene.
I'm certain the director and the guy that originally filmed it had an intense goal and process he was going to use to film it. I have no idea what it was, so I did the best that I could with what I got.
I mean, I thought you did very well on that. Definitely real nice.
He would be the one I would credit the most. Bixby and Adam would be the two that I would credit for most of the ghosts, because they had a whole plan with the Dark Brotherhood. Was supposed to be H. Holmes, Jack the Ripper, and then of course
the guy from the movie,
the main bad guy. And why am I blanking on his name? What was his name? No, it's going to kill me if I don't remember it. Damn it, you did it.
We don't want to sit here for
Oswald Crane. Damn it. He's one of my best friends. You can tell that now. We just hit it off so well. We've been peas in a pod, really. But Oswald Crane was a very specific look that he had in mind. And if we do the sequel, we're going to add a fourth Dark Brotherhood, which would be controversial a little bit for me.
That would be version 12 of the feature films ideas we've had, which is the process of writing a feature. It takes a long time.
We definitely know that. We have a couple of videos we've been working on for like 3+ years. Hopefully at some point they see the light of day. So I understand the pain.
Keep on keeping on. Set a deadline. Set a time where you say, this is what we're going to show everybody. That's when you're like, oh, wait, I actually got to get this done.
Hey, any forward progress is still forward progress.
Right. As long as we can film and start editing. What about whose ideas was it, or creative ideas for the commercials within the little short films on your channel?
Got to give that one to Nolan. Yeah, the guy himself, Spazinski. Real name, Luna Chavez. Well, Nolan is his first name. We were at El Paso Comic-Con And I made mention I want to do a couple of episodes to kind of flesh out the characters a bit, so that if we do a feature, they're not just popping up fully sprung out of, you know, Zeus's head or anything like that. I was like, how about we do something? He goes, hey, I know what to do. And I was like, can you do what you just did just now? And yeah. And sure enough, I wrote the bulk of the episode, and I left the commercials entirely up to him. What was going to be in them, how they were going to be looked.
The costumes.
And
He showed up with those costumes.
oh my God, he ran with it. And it's still one of the funniest ones I've seen. I then had to create a boring commercial, which
that wasn't too bad.
I was like, oh, that's okay commercial. He's like, no, that's terrible. Yeah. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Was the laughter in that scene legitimate laughter? Like it was sheet laughter, I should say.
We didn't let Teddy watch the episode or the commercials until we were filming those scenes.
Those were live reactions.
Those were his actual reactions. Yes. Because I was like, well, this would be great if we just let their actual reactions go through.
We thought they might be, because they're like, either he's like really good at acting, or those are his like real reactions, because they were.
He's going to go check on the rest of them. So
yeah, he looked like he was dying.
Yeah, and we did have to cut away one of them because he just fell out of his chair. And I think it was the one where he's like, "When you got a boot, you know what you," and then he just lost it. And I had a horrible time not laughing because I had seen the commercials, but it was funny every time I watched them. And then while watching them, the whole time he's just kind of doing, yeah, what? You like it? You like it? And I was like, God, Lord.
And so, yeah, I enjoyed him fighting the like skeleton in it. That was great.
That was an improv moment because he was doing the commercial. He's like, I need to fill something in here. I was like, you grab one of my Halloween skeletons and just I'll lay it on the ground and hold it up or something. He's like, yeah, do that. Wasn't expecting him to do what he did. I was dying laughing just out of camera shot. But that's the kind of magic that these guys do when they're all together. You're going to really like the solo episode that will be Nolan driving that little go-kart that I think I showed you guys pictures of. Mm-hmm. That's a standalone episode with him. I'm just going to be a radio in his ear. It's all specifically Nolan episode. And then the second solo episode of him is going to be channel switching, where he plugs himself into the containment unit so he can get possessed by various ghosts. So we're trying to look for a specific ghost. We have to electric shock him to change the channel to get a different ghost. And I'm not going to tell him, but I'm going to actually literally hook it up to electrical, give him a mild shot. So, mum's the word on that one. But literally, without this crew, none of this would exist. None of it. Now, don't get me wrong, Bixby, Nicole Goki, who was great as Jazz, those two they're like the bread and butter of that one. So, yeah, I was telling them a little bit about Nolan's upcoming episode, the go-kart one. That'll be funny.
Mad Max with ghosts.
Yes.
Kind of.
He's going to make
playing guitar.
He would have that.
Well, do you want to tell the viewers about your character and like what it means to you, and also like some of the inspirations from real life or the video game, stuff like that?
You're literally starting off with the video game. That's what Jenks was supposed to be, was the older version of Rookie, which I had one little line. I think you might have been the only guy that got it right, because one of you, I remember chiming in, you're like, hey, is that the guy from the video game? Nailed it. And I threw that line in there thinking, oh, only the dead, the diehard fans would get this. She nailed it. In my case, Johnny Jenks is actually my best friend who passed away at age 36. It was horrible. We were best friend. I mean, we were like brothers. Two halves of the same ring is how I always referred to. And we would do crazy adventures all over Virginia. We've known each other since like elementary school. We used to joke about, hey, it'd be crazy? Build all the Ghostbuster equipment and film our own Ghostbuster film. And this is back in 1990s. Nothing was going on. And we're like, it'd be so cool. And also insane, because who's crazy enough to do all that? This guy. So the joke was going to be, I was going to be Johnny Jenks, as I'm playing now, and he was going to be John Jenks. And it was sort of a Frog Brothers reference, which we thought would be funny, because somebody would be like, why are the two of you known as why are you both John? He's like, no, I'm Johnny. He's John. Mm. That would have been it. So that kind of inspired the character. You know, it's just an exaggerated version of myself. And since I did 30 years in the Army, it's very easy for, as Nolan puts it, tap into my inner first sergeant. So I could do the little gruff stuff. And I've worked a lot with 3-letter agencies for real. So when I did the certifications with Bixby and stuff, that floored them because they weren't expecting that speech. But I've made speeches like that before, so it was kind of easy to do. Bixby's, of course, I believe, he'll probably tell you a little bit more about it, but I believe was just a diehard, hey, I really miss Ghostbusters. I would love to have been in it. Here's how I would have done. Now, Gavin, as I've said, he's more Gavin than he is actually Scott. Sadly, I'm more Scott than he is in real life. But the two of us together, it's like Gavin and Scott. But we have to play opposites of that when we're in character. So he's wildly successful with women. So it's opposite of Scott. So that's what he does. But yeah, he's clicking right along right now, doing his thing, and he's tracking what we're doing here. And I believe we have a production meeting soon, within like the next week or two, where we're going to discuss, hey, how are we going to break down the script? What are we going to film in Colorado? I do know one final scene I want is us pulling up to the Stand Hotel at the very end credits and just like looking at Nolan because he's shorter than me. I'll be like, did you book that call? Because nah, get back in the car. And then drive away. That's probably going to be the end credit scene now. I don't know. So many things happen between shooting and finishing that I'm not going to hold myself to it. But it would be a fun little thing to do.
Yeah, no, I like it because it's kind of reminiscent to me of Aykroyd's little cameo in
Casper.
Casper, yeah.
Yeah.
Who are you going to call?
I love that. Somebody else. Hand it to him.
Yeah, no,
Yep.
I like it. Well, how do you guys, I guess, hit the right balance of comedy and seriousness? Because I think that's something that maybe some of them have lost.
That's hard, and that's one of the things I keep trying to like. If it's too many in jokes, it doesn't work. And even myself have to stop. I'm like, I can't be in on a joke. Jenks can't know how ridiculous this is, and he can't be like, oh, there's something funny coming up. I got to start something. No, it has to be a surprise to him as a character, and I tell everybody that as well. And they're pretty good about it so far, except for Nolan. Nolan's too happy all the time, so he's about to switch that with the coming up episodes where I was like, you got to understand, Nolan, yes, what's coming is funny, but your line needs to be delivered straight up, no shit. You believe this stuff. The technology is real. The danger is real. The fact that we're broke all the time and having to get money is real. And play from that. And
he is the newbie
we're trying to also up the horror level. Yeah, exactly. We're going to try to up the horror quantity because that's another thing too. Is like a lot of our ghosts are goofy. We need something terrifying. There is one coming up called Jenks versus the Boogeyman, straight up from the cartoon series. We're gonna try to do that one justice. Yeah, we'll see if that actually works or not. But the ghosts that are chasing Nolan are going to be horrifying. We're going to put him in some dangerous situations where there's real horror involved. And the joke is always that these are the schmucks that are dealing with it. So it's a balancing act, and it's not easy to do, and it's not easy to maintain. And like anything, it's just limited by what you can do, with what the time you have, and locations, and how much money you might have for the day, or what prop broke on your way over, that kind of thing. But like this one's going to be pretty good. This is Teddy's origin episode. It's called The Quick and the Tit. This is where we learn it starts at the office where Teddy and Nolan are just talking back and forth, and then Nolan's like, hey, boss, did you see this? And he shows me a little clip of these group. And there's like a paranormal hunter group, kind of like TAPS. Mm-hmm. And that's how the whole thing started. And then that's how Teddy gets on the team and all that. And it's going to be interesting because it's never having been done before. Nobody's ever done kind of like individual origin stories for these characters. Nolan now has one. He's got the pilot episode. I technically have one from Open for Business because I just show up and I'd mention, hey, the video game, there's his origin. Yeah, I'm done. For everybody else, this is also Crystal's. She's going to be you saw our little goth girl that was in the pilot episode. This is her intro as well. So the next one, mostly Nolan-centric stuff. So after that, the only thing that Nolan's requested is he wants him and Bixby in a scene together. So we got a couple things coming up. We're going to reach out to some of the old actors that were in Return of the Ghostbusters from Hank Braxton. We're going to reach out to some of them to see if they'll do little cameos and stuff. And if we get to shoot in those locations, they might come out to that too. So, I want to go back to Cripple Creek just to take Mike there, because he's seen that building so many hundreds of times that he's never actually seen it, which will be pretty cool. But we're really hoping, if the town will let us, we want to use that copper mine. But that's, who knows? Or tin mine. Is it a tin mine or copper mine? Okay, tin mine. If we can get it. But I'm pie in the sky, aim for something big. If we can get it, yay. If we can't, move on to something else.
So I'm just going to pop in and say something, correct you, and leave.
That's it?
I will say though, if they don't, what is it? Golden, I think, has a working mine that, or you can still tour and stuff like that. So they might let you too.
That'd be
Bring the bird.
The Vindicator ones, they might. I don't know.
If I keep those Echos running, good Lord, I'm still waiting on Ecto 95 to come back. It's still in the shop, and now I got to get the oil pump on this one. So, but the beauty of it is that's right in universe, because even in the last one, Frozen Empires, damn thing's overheating and electrical problems, and Paul Rudd's like, "Hey, yeah, it'll work." Yeah, pretty much how it goes.
Technically, Stranger Things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you tell us about the different ectos that were used? Because we've seen a couple now in the short films that you've been putting on YouTube and stuff like that.
In the Open for Business, there was the Flecto, which was Bixby's Ford Flex. It got T-boned in the winter. He was doing, I think, Uber driving or something, and somebody just T-boned him in an intersection. So he's replaced it with a Dodge Magnum with extended. So it kind of looks the same, but it's not. It's a lot nicer. And then that was Ecto 95, which is just a 1995 Jeep. And then I'm driving right now the Ecto 97. That's the one I took to Roswell. She's kind of beat up, but she was like that when I bought her. And then we have, in an upcoming episode, you're going to see what is it? It's a Honda. It's like a box truck looking thing. It's my buddy. His name is David Pacheco. He's a big Ghostbuster fanatic too, and he's got his own little Ecto, and it's a gray one. You'll see that one in an episode coming up. So if we can throw in extra Ectos, we will, at any moment. But there's not that many in town here in El Paso. And I seem to be the only guy that owns two of them, which is kind of weird. I was like, I can't be the only one that owns two of these things. And they're like, nope, you're the only idiot with two of them. I think that's all the Ectos that I know of at the moment.
I mean, I was going to say your collection of props and stuff like that is pretty impressive.
All from 2013 up. I've been just little bits and pieces here and there, building things here and there. And then the hero props were built by specific people. Mike Nelson he's from Carnivorous Creations. He's the one that built 3 of my hero props. Those are the fiberglass proton packs and stuff. And of course I have the Hasbro one now. But there's parts from everywhere, parts of the Ghostbuster community. Hey, buy a part from me. I'm selling this off. Who wants it? That kind of thing. And then I started going to thrift stores and buying specific things. And the cursed objects was sort of an afterthought, but it turned out to be actually useful. And damned if it didn't end up in the Frozen Empire where they had cursed objects. I was like, yay. So, yeah. It's just been little bits here and there. But the office, that was Mike's idea. He's like, we need to get an office to put all this stuff in. I was like, yeah, let's do that. And it's pretty amazing. It's crazy, but amazing.
Hey, you're prepared.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we're overly prepared. And that does set us aside from most of the fan films. You see somebody with a pack or a suit and they're standing at a desk or something like that, but they don't have the whole. I think only Sony could probably match me so far. I say this now, and then somebody else is going to, oh yeah, I'll take that challenge. Probably the German team. They've got more equipment than I got. But there's those guys are actually physicists, and they freaking build that stuff. So I was like, damn, hand it to the Germans.
Well, what about a favorite scene from Open for Business, as well as a favorite scene of yours from your different episodes you've made?
Okay, I know for Open for Business, I know my favorite one probably is when Bixby turns around with the cereal box and Shady's like, "Who ate all the charms?" He goes, "They were beckoning me in the nighttime." Die laughing every time I see that. Bixby begged us to cut that. I was like, "There's no chance in hell that I'm getting rid of that scene." I was like, "It is great." He goes, "I look like an idiot." You always look like an idiot. This is perfect. So that's my favorite scene of that one. But it's kind of sort of right there with the one with Jazz and him. As soon as he gets done with his pull up and he goes and vomits, and he's like, I did that. That's my second favorite scene. My other favorite scene is probably from the pilot episode where Nolan first comes out. He sort of falls off his bike. He stands. He's like, "I gotta go save these guys," and she stops and she's like, "You don't even know where they are." And he goes, "Yeah, where are they?" That is, for some reason, my favorite scene. I don't know why. I just love that scene the most. For the commercials, oh my god, probably the kicking the ghost or the kicking the skeleton. That is absolutely my favorite. The one where he did a cursed objects thing, that was just sort of a wild, hey, let's go to Albuquerque to go shoot at the places Breaking Bad did for no real reason. And it turned out to be pretty fun. But my favorite scene of that one wasn't even our team. It was the Zia guys that showed up. They stole that whole episode. They were brilliant. Especially the guy's like, "I thought you were going to get drinks for everybody." And he's like, Loved it. And none of that was scripted. They just kind of, I said, "Hey, whatever you think of in the moment, just fly with it." And damned if it wasn't great.
No,
But
good.
I don't know what the new one's going to be in this one. Who knows? I know Nolan has a couple of favorite ones. He likes my delivery of once I got beaten up by the egregore, which we were going to expand on those a bit. And there was a couple of missing scenes. I think I told you about that. But I got beat up, and I was like, I feel like I got beat by Bobby Brown. He loses it. He just falls out of his chair laughing every time he hears me say that. I was like, "Why does that one affect you the most?" He goes, "Because it's unexpected." And he comes running off, and I'm like, "Damn." But he loves it, so I count that as a win. As long as you guys are entertained and you're chuckling away, I think mission accomplished. And hey, if somebody pays attention to it and says, "Hey, do you guys want to do something with a real budget?" The answer is yes. We may fail spectacularly, but it will be spectacular one way or the other.
And if Hollywood comes and says you want to be a small part in our upcoming Ghostbusters 3, I'm sure you'd say yes.
You never know. You never know. I wouldn't mind being a cartoon voiceover even or something like that. It's something involved in it. I just want to be part of it. Mm-hmm. And this kind of is my way of doing it. I know this is my way of bringing Johnny along with me because he would literally first he'd be yelling at me for like, "You're insane for building all this shit, you dumbass," and I'd be like, yeah, you're right. Goes, "But it is awesome. This is amazing." He would love it. And he would love all these people. He would be just one more piece of the puzzle and everybody would love it. You guys would absolutely love it. He said about a little bit head taller than me. Always kept the head shaved, but he had a real cool goatee and stuff. We always called him the Gentle Giant. So, yeah. And that's what we do. We're kind of all, rising tide raises all ships. We're all trying to help one another. I want Teddy to become a real actor with real business and stuff. I want Nolan to become a real actor with real business, all of them. And we've got new people in this one. Like Rebecca, you're going to see her several times. She's going to become important. She's our psychic. And, well, you'll see. It'll come to fruition in this episode, which it sounds like they're doing it right now. They're getting things set up right now. So.
Oh, nice. Yeah. For anyone that's just joining us now, he's actually on location. He's joining us on location filming right now. So once it comes out.
Open for Business.
Oh, nice.
That was the one. This is supposed to be the past version of me. This is the one I was wearing. So sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, no, you're good. I was just going to say once it comes out, we'll put a link. So there'll be a link at the top of the screen there. You guys can go check it out. Tell us about some of the other people within your guys' series. Did they all grow up loving Ghostbusters, or some of them just kind of new to it? Like, how did that work?
We had two that had never seen it before. And after I finished chastising them, they watched all of it. But that's just because they were younger. I mean, Crystal had not seen it, and then she's like, "Oh, my dad told me about this. I was like, that sounds about right. And she loved it. And so everybody's kind of sort of come along the way. I know Mike was a big fan. So like I said, he got all my jokes. And God, that was a nightmare. That was a good learning experience on what not to do filmmaking. I'll give you an example. In that one warehouse episode, we were supposedly training a rookie by shooting Nerf darts at her for no reason. And I got mad, so I kind of executed her with a single shot. And the damn thing stuck on her forehead. It's like, she's like, why? Like, why are we shooting darts? It's like, this is stupid. Yeah. It's a varied amount. I'm probably the Ghostbuster expert on set. Bixby's a rival for me on knowledge, so me and Bix can sit there and just nerd out for hours. And probably another hour of me lambasting him for being an actual homicide detective, just because that's fun. But yeah, he's it's of all of us, me, Mike, Teddy, and Nolan probably have the most hands in the business, that have the most lore knowledge, and we try to keep it on track. In fact, in the end of Frozen Empire, there's a guy named Adam Murray. He's the one has a beard, long hair, glasses, and he's in the semi truck that gets taken away by the little mini puffs. He's a Ghostbuster fan, and he lives in I believe, Georgia or North Carolina. I'm not sure which one, but he's an actor. He got selected, and he's over the moon, and a Ghostbuster fan got picked to be in a Ghostbuster movie. So, I mean, McKenna Grace, she was a huge fan as a baby, and becomes Phoebe Spengler. So, I mean, that's like a dream coming true right there.
Right.
Right. Well, what's your thoughts going to like those Ghostbuster films? Because there's 4 canonically plus the 2016 one. What are your thoughts on all of those ones?
Well, I love the first 2, obviously, for different reasons. The second one, at the time, I was disappointed as a kid because I was big into the Ghostbusters cartoon, which that'll come later. I'll mention it as a throwback to it. But every time I come in here, I always step on him. So he was asking a question about what were my thoughts on the various Ghostbusters films. And I'm starting with the first one's obviously great, and that's something me and Johnny used to watch a lot. Second one, I was more influenced by the cartoon, and I was a little bitter that it wasn't that. But upon multiple watchings, that's a pretty it's a good movie. It kind of grows on you after a couple of watchings.
The pacing was weird on it.
That, and it went up against Batman. Everybody was ready for Batman. They weren't ready for another Ghostbusters film, so it kind of threw everything off. Now, the Ghostbusters 2016, that's funny because I had already started planning on doing a fan film before they ever even announced that. And it could have been so good, but they screwed up a lot of little things. It was a good movie, entertaining, as in, hey, it's entertaining.
I didn't like it at all.
I know he did.
I don't care that they were women. I care that it was not a very good movie.
Nobody cared that they were women. That was just something they were complaining. Oh, we're just misogyny. No, it has nothing to do with that. It has to do with shitty story.
It wasn't well written.
To be fair, though, I did talk. I talked to actually Paul Frayne. I met him, and he told me they only had like 18 months from writing, filming, editing, effects, locations, actresses, and everything. 18 months to do the whole thing.
Which, if you know about filmmaking, that's not a lot of time.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, that's
nuts.
But that's kind of the problem. He tried to reinvent the wheel. He could have called it Ghost Smashers and had them in character be like, hey, you know what? We'll be like that movie in 1984, and we'll bust Ghost for real. Wouldn't have been good, but at least it would have been something. And they could have just been a franchise, like in the video game. But they avoided all that, and they went their own direction. They paid the price for it. The good news about it is Sony had like a flip of a switch when Sonic the Hedgehog came out. People lambasted the character design, and they took a chance and they said, let's listen to the fans. And they made a good Sonic design, and the movie was a hit. And they applied that logic to like, what was the other one they just complained? Oh, yeah, Ghostbusters. Hey, I wonder if we can do this. And then Jason Reitman came in and swooped in and saved the whole thing. Now, a lot of people don't like Frozen Empire. I like it for a different reason than most. To me, it's like watching an episode of that cartoon that I love. And it really does feel like the cartoon. Now, do I have something I'm like, yeah, we could have done this, and this to fix that, but who the hell am I to critique what they're doing? You know, I just won't do it myself. I'll try to avoid what I consider mistakes and make my own mistakes that somebody will be like, that's stupid. You should have done it this way. Now I'll have to accept it because that's how you learn. So we'll see. But Frozen Empire, I enjoy a lot. But it is controversial right now. The Ghostbuster community is kind of split. There's people that hate it, and I don't know why. I'm like, well, this is a pretty good movie. But some people don't. I think not every ghost should be an apocalypse. I like the little minutia of the episodic stuff, which is why we're doing little episodes. But even so, when we do the Return of the Dark Brotherhood movie, if we get to do that, it's going to be not necessarily apocalyptic, but bad. It's like, no, this is bad for us. It's not going to end the world, but it ain't going to be fun. So, and they kind of need to do that. Ghostbusters could be what Star Trek was in the 90s. You know, had all these shows and branching out. They had all these fans and all these conventions everywhere. They could easily stretch this out. The warmth is there. The lore is there. Americana ghost knowledge is all over. You could do that on so cheap a level, especially if you pick somebody as crazy as me that's already built all the shit. That saves in production value and everything. You just roll right in as like, Monster of the Week, go. And here's your new Buffy. So, but it's not my money as well. So I can't really dictate how other people spend their money on what they consider worthy projects. But I do know this, if they don't make a profit, they ain't going to do it. Right now, Ghostbusters, I believe, Frozen Empire is just now getting into the profit margin. It's not spectacular, but it is a niche market. I think now would be the time to, this is kind of why we're doing the fan films. I had an appointment with Sony to try to do a pitch to them, but then something's going on with their schedule right now to where I can't get it at the time I wanted, which would have been at the end of July. So maybe I can get another one. I had to pull in all my little bells and whistles in contact to try to even get that. But I'll try again. Can't hurt. I mean, they can only say no. Don't kill me and eat me. Like, they can't kill me and eat me, can they?
Not that we know of.
Not that we know of.
You never know. They could say no, but persistence is how one becomes a filmmaker. The road is literally littered with the would-be bodies of filmmakers. All the ones that quit never made it. You're going to fail often. Keep on going. Keep trying. Keep learning. That's my mantra. Or at least until my wallet gives out. When my wallet gives out, I'm going to have to stop and pause. So who knows?
Well,
We'll probably start doing UFO films at some point once we're done with Ghostbusters. I did want to do an episode of Ghostbusters at Roswell, but I told you guys a little bit about that. Who knows? We might get that one of these days. Love it. It'd be great if the city would kick in for that one.
You never know. They might.
Yeah,
they might.
Plus, they do their little film festival during the UFO festival, so it'd be kind of cool if you did like a little, because I know they try to do short films for that one. If you did a little episode for that and you won the festival, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, that's what he was talking about. That we should probably do something and submit it to him. And I can do it. I can reach out to the city. They gave me the card. They want me in the parade for next year, as you guys saw. They gave me the forms and stuff. So I've already called them. And they said, "Oh yeah, absolutely. Can you come out next year?" I was like, "If the car is running, we'll see. Knock on wood. We'll see." That's a long ways off, but I'm kind of hooked now. I would have stayed all 3 days had I known it was that awesome. That was an amazing place.
So fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And the food, man, these guys know food. Good food places. And Mike likes to eat, so that's a good thing.
It's
not a good thing.
I'm letting that. Not a good thing.
You need to eat.
I need to eat. I need to list.
Eat good. That's the trick.
Yeah, no, that peppers was good. Well, tell us a little bit about, I guess, your interactions at the festival, because maybe some of our viewers saw you there. So, do you want to describe your first foray into the Roswell UFO Festival?
I was just trying to kind of put the spotlight on you guys because I see this all the time. This happens to me all the time. Wearing costume and wearing the equipment and stuff. I knew it was new for you guys, so I wanted you to enjoy the maximum of it. But the fan interactions were great. People were just like, "Oh, the Ghostbusters are Roswell, of course." Not sure quite how that connection works, but okay, I'll go with it. It turned out great. I love the fact that you guys got interviewed. I love that. The whole news thing, I was like, yes. So much so, the Ghostbuster community started reaching out to me like, hey, who's that group in Roswell? I was like, oh, they're not Ghostbusters. I'm like, yes, they were. They were in costume and everything. Like, just wearing my equipment, but they'd be great. And they're like, we want to start one in Roswell. So apparently there isn't one anywhere near Roswell, but they're all excited to have one. So I'm like, well, they're in Colorado. Oh, there's plenty of them in Colorado. We want one in Roswell. I'm like, all right, well, maybe it'll be a once a year thing. Never know.
Right.
I'd love to
we're there
like,
yearly.
put a UFO patch on one and a Ghostbuster on the other one. You're like, yeah, we're here for the crash site.
That'd be cool, like a Men in Black Ghostbusters like crossover type of deal.
Yes, Men in Black was a big favorite of mine for that exact reason. It always kind of felt like, hey, yeah, this would make sense. Everybody in town was super nice. It was funny. They stuck me next to the stage. I wasn't expecting that at all. I was just thinking, hey, it'd be nice if I could park somewhere without getting a ticket. They're like, in fact, we'll put you right next to the stage. I was like, that'll work. And it almost ended up in the parade. If I had stayed 2 more days, I could have done that. And it would have been amazing. But I also would have missed that badass storm driving back, which I got to admit was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
I was filming it on our drive.
It was like listening to heavy metal with lightning going. I had all the lights on the Ecto going. It was hilarious. I would have loved to have had a drone shot of that. That would have been amazing.
Right.
Yeah, no, we were waiting for the Roswell rocket to light up.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, man, they got to do this quick because that storm is moving in fast. And then they were counting it down, and I was like, all right, Tom, let's get home before it comes down.
Man, it was a lot of fun. That was probably the most fun I had in a month. Easily. It was well worth going. I'm glad we got to go. I even won money. I stopped at the casino on the way back, and I was like, oh, I'll just stop here and spend $20. Ended up leaving with 150. I was like, hey, pay for the trip. Time to go home. So that worked out.
Right. No, we were very excited that you were able to make it and hang out with us. And like I said, for any viewers just joining us now, we will be having an episode at Peppers with Johnny here.
Good food.
It's hard to not refer to you as your character because that's kind of how we've talked to you.
I'm okay with it. Everybody does it. I mean, especially because the name is right there. I just accept it. So I'm okay. Johnny would get a kick out of it. Let me put it that way. He would be like, ha ha, the curse is yours. Shut up, man. So, yeah.
Well, you know what would be kind of a fun little ghost for you guys? Just like an episodic ghost would be the ghost of Snippy. And Snippy was a horse that was purportedly killed by a UFO. Yeah,
I like that.
And I'm sure the UFO Watchtower would let you film there. And that's where Snippy was found. They actually have the bones of Snippy there. So I'm sure we could get you there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering how. I'd have to ask Mike. How would we do the effects for that? That'd be cool.
Right.
A little bit Ghost Rider. Have a skeleton's horse all along, and then like Nolan goes running after it, and we're just kind of watching him do it. I think it was you that said he should be dragged along behind it, like I got it.
Yeah, hold along, dragging, like it's okay, I got it.
I got this. We're just watching. Probably start talking about, hey, where do you want to go eat? You know, just drag him along.
We're gonna go check out the sand dunes. What are some other like hopes for you guys as far as like episodes? I mean, obviously we've talked about the Kickstarter, but what are some other hopes as far as ghosts or storylines that you want to introduce?
Well, we want to do I think we've got 4 episodes right now. Or no, we got 4 episodes. I want to do about 4 more. And then we kind of, those 4, about 2 of them are going to be for the Kickstarter. To kind of set the tone for it. And then I wouldn't mind actually going up to Bixby's and shooting a special thing up there. Because it's going to be Tesla-centric. So we're going to go to the Tesla Museum. And I got the task of building a Tesla version of a proton pack from back in the 1800s or early 1900s, which will be very interesting if I could pull that off. But wish me luck on that one. I'm going to start with a wooden box and go from there. Probably buy old phone parts and stuff and put them in there and make it work.
Oh, that'd be cool. We love Tesla on the channel. We've done a whole episode finding where his lab location was here in the Springs.
I do know there will be an opening scene for the new movie that I've already written where it's, I'll go ahead and tell you. Thomas Edison is the bad guy. So Thomas Edison is, whatever it is that happened between them, he's yelling, "You're going to be penniless and dead in the future. Nobody will know your name." Then forwards to El Paso, and then my actor's driving past the Tesla car place. Like, so much for being dead and penniless and nobody knows their name. Drive past it. I love that idea. So hopefully we'll have that'll stay in there. But it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, I dig it. Sam, do you have any other questions you want to ask?
Well, they're getting ready to use this little place right here. I could take you in real quick and let you see the crew that we have right now, and then we'll probably have to start filming here.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
Okay. You want to see the other crew?
Yeah, I'm excited to show what I got in the mail. Dang it, stupid green screen.
Oh, there we go.
I got the whole collection of the real Ghostbusters cartoon series. So heck yeah.
You're going to be seeing more of her. Hopefully you can see her.
Okay, we can see.
Hello.
Hello.
She's going to be a problem for the TXRRT team. She's an army chick, so obviously she's a problem. And this will be Miss Neffelman. She's going to be one of our ghosts.
Hello.
My name is Elizabeth, and I am playing a madam. I am a woman of ill repute, and I'm going to possess this young lady right over there.
Oh, fun.
Apparently Teddy and them are still not here. Are they not here yet?
Maybe they went to Mexico like me.
Okay. That's always fun. She wants to poke hole in my stories, so why not?
She's trying to explore it.
Yeah. This is a great costume, by the way. It looks amazing. She has a flapper dress too, so
I have the exact same look where every single one.
I can see your dream. I do not have one, nor will I. So, yeah, it's better for the audience all around, let me tell you. And they are still not here. So, yes, this is going to be one of the ghost hunter guys. His name is Chris.
Hi, I'm Sebastian.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, this is going to be on a podcast. This is your chance to interview.
So, like, I get to ask them any questions.
No, they ask you questions.
I mean, if you want to ask us questions too, that's fine. What was that?
Paranormal links, Culz Paranormal.
Mhm.
So is it about
UFO, paranormal, that kind of thing, and they
History.
History, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, we were talking about that. We saw the thing in the sky last night as well. It was too slow to be an asteroid, but it was an asteroid according to NASA. They lie all the time.
An asteroid.
It could have been. Now the green is a certain type of metal when it burns. It gives the green. I think it's iron that turns green. But why was it so damn slow? It was like slowly coming apart. I was like, yes,
So you know where the two benches are?
yes.
We got up and walked down the ramp to the.
See, she wants to be in paranormal stuff. Come here, Rebecca. Tell them about your character.
My character is kind of.
Also an airhead typecasting.
Well, but my character is apparently an influencer, which is an influencer and a psychic, which is probably where Madam Neffelman takes such.
This comes first. Influencers later.
Okay.
Yep.
Is that part of her influence?
Yep.
Because apparently I get possessed for 10 years.
Yes, she gets to give you
10
extra.
years.
That's the problem. That's where they want to
I
break the
got
story.
possessed and I got clapped at the same time.
Yeah. No effect on Jenks. Or he's just tired. Hard to tell.
So is she going to do tarot readings and all that?
Always have to deal with the fallout stuff.
To the
Yeah, he is basically. Would you describe Jenks as the big dad of the group? That's like, come on, kids, stop breaking things.
Yeah.
Probably.
Is that
It's funny. It literally is a vegetable steamer. They're talking about a prop, but I'll show you. I actually have it here. That's not me. That's Teddy. Yeah. All right. So this is Teddy's makeshift proton pack. I think I showed you this a little bit before, but I wasn't able to light it up. So this is his proton pistol and small collider pack, which will be hanging off of his belt. So,
Looks very good.
Let me turn this thing on. Should have a charge. Oh, maybe. Yeah, there we go. So, it's a real simple thing, but looks like we're getting ready to start here. So, anything else we can answer your questions, guys? We'll do that. I can head outside real quick and actually let me do that while they're setting this up. It's a beautiful house. People that are letting us do this is very, very graceful that they're letting us do this. But this is the part of town which I already feel like I'm lowering the property value just being out here. Look at this. Super, super nice place.
Where are you filming right now?
This is on the other side of town. I'm across the mountain.
Okay.
This is, I guess you would call it the west side, and where all the money in El Paso lives.
Ah.
And that is the house right there. So this is probably the first shot you see when they're coming in. You see them crew setting up the lights over there. And then, of course, beautiful Ecto 97. I did put one more piece on it. It's called the sniffer device that's usually on top of those two prongs. I replaced that the other day with that one because the other one's broke. So,
okay.
not much more modifications than that. And the blast damage I occasionally have to repaint. And other than that, she's still running, surprisingly, for as long as she can.
Right.
But that's about it. You're caught up. Wish us luck. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah,
no,
I'm
excited.
Good luck.
Yeah, you guys are going to do good, I know.
I'm really hoping it's a fun episode. This really does shine Teddy and Crystal's talents. I'm barely in it. I only show up as the Deus Ex Machina at the end. So I get the easy part. They get the difficult part. So
Right.
I got to call them and find out where the hell they are. They're not here yet.
Right. Well, before we end, because that way you can get back to making it,
Mhm.
why don't you let the people listening know where they can find out more about you as far as the channel and everything?
Yeah, if you go to YouTube and Rumble, we're on both. You type in Ghostbusters Fan Films, TXRRT, and any variation of that should take you to it. We have about 4 episodes right now, and these, hopefully, we're going to have 3 more added real soon. And yeah, feel free to enjoy it. It'll be fun and chaotic, as it always is. But yeah, I think you guys will like it. The 2 hour and 18-minute movie is also on those 2 websites, on Rumble and on YouTube. Again, on the Rumble one, where it was first, was, I believe, you might have to spell out the whole thing, like Ghostbusters franchises TXRRT, and then on YouTube it's easier to find. So should be just TXRRT fan films, and that should take you to it. Or if you see my Jeep, I'm sure it's tagged to that somehow too. There's so many, God, there's thousands and thousands of pictures of that vehicle I'm never going to see that are just out there in the ether. So
I've seen some of them on Instagram from Roswell. So
there's a lot of them on Chime, or no, Chive, on Chive. That I'm just like, where did that come from? It's like, they just ran them about. So be a lot of fun. Hey, Mike, you got anything else to say before we log out?
Movies. It's fun. Every time you do it.
well, best of luck.
Yeah.
Busiest man on set, that guy. I get the easy part. I just have to invent it, write the thing. He has to make it happen. Sky's the limit for me. Physics is the limits for him.
True.
Well, we'll definitely have to do some more stuff in the future. We enjoyed our time in Roswell, and we'll, if anything, for
blast.
sure, definitely have to do it again.
All right. Well, you guys take care and keep on doing stuff. I'm gonna keep watching, and hopefully you guys keep watching too, and hopefully we make you laugh and chuckle like Nolan's shenanigans as he always does. If they make you chuckle, then we're halfway there. So that'll work.
It works. Even Alex. Alex is our resident Ghostbusters super fan here in Colorado, and he got a kick out of your guys' stuff. So you're doing something right.
There'll be some more. Wish us luck.
Yes,
all right.
you do.
You all have a good one.
All right, you have a good
Yeah,
day.
you too. See ya.
Hey, once again, the group wants to say thank you to Johnny and Michael for joining us today. And, you know, stay tuned. Like we said, Johnny will be back for the Pepper's Best Green Chili Burger episode that we will be doing here shortly. And also make sure to go check out their stuff because you guys will enjoy it. It is a lot of fun. But until next time, guys, for more Culz interviews, click that link to your left. For more about us here at Culz Paranormal, click that link to your right. And don't forget to hit that like and give us a subscribe. And let us know, have you seen Open for Business? And is there a favorite episode of yours from the Real Ghostbusters? Tell us in the comment below.